Welcome back to The Buried Life. I'm Steve, the retired hobby tech guy, and today we're going to talk about the Pixoo 64, the LED art stand frame thing that does social media, sports, stock, weather, and more. So let's jump in. Have you ever been sitting at your desk and realized as you look over at a picture from like the early 70s and realize that it's so dated you need to get up with the times? That's what we're going to talk about. The Pixoo 64, a LED digital art display that does weather, art, and all different kinds of things, including your socials. So let's dive right into it. Now, I have to give you a disclaimer. The company approached me, so this is a paid advertisement. Not that they paid me money, but they sent me a free Pixoo 64, but I'm free to say whatever I want about this. So you're going to hear about the pros and the cons, and ultimately what I think about the Pixoo 64. So with that out of the way, let's head over to their website and see what they're offering. All right, here's the Divoom.com homepage, and they offer a number of other items that they sell as well. Speakers, they have new products, displays, and that also includes the Pixoo 64, which we're going to take a look at. It's about $155. This is in won since I live in South Korea. But as you can see, what it ends up having is a bunch of different options. Tons of artwork. And when I say tons of artwork, I am not lying. You can create and add more social media trackers, in-game experiences, financial data. That is all done with an app on your phone. It is pretty impressive. And again, it just adds something to your home and office, your gaming area. So with that being said, let's dive a little bit deeper into the Pixoo 64. Okay, so this is the Divoom app. I've got this plugged into my computer, so if there's a little bit of lag, I apologize for that. In real life, you won't see the lag that you'll see on here. This is the opening screen, and we have a gallery, expert, and albums. So if you save things to an album that you want to, your favorites or things like that, you can do that. As it pops up, you have follows, so you can follow certain artists on here. Bloom 2025, recommended, new, charts. You've got some different things there. Immersive mode, classic mode, most liked, new uploads. You can actually set the pixel art size that you want, 16 by 32 by 64, 128, 256. You could just go through and we're just going to hit all. And yeah, this is going to get pretty interesting. So this is going to repopulate. And when I tell you that there are thousands of things that you can put onto this, I am not joking. It is just amazing on how many things that we could put onto that digital frame. I am just amazed. I thought there would be like 10 or 20. I thought, well, maybe it'll have some things for, social media, maybe a stock ticker or something like that, some sports stuff. And, that would be about it. But when you start going through and you scroll and you scroll and you scroll and continue scrolling, there is so much that you can put on your Pixoo 64 frame. It is absolutely insane. So if we go up here to the top, let's see what Bloom 2025 is. And again, we've got more stuff on there. We've got Pikachu. We've got anime. We've got just all kinds of artwork. And again, this will go down the same amount. I mean, it's just thousands and thousands. And this is different than what was on the recommended tab. The amount of artwork on this Divoom Pixoo 64 is just amazing. If we go up here, back up to the top, we can go to new, where people actually create and make their own, and then they post it. So that's kind of a cool thing. So if you're the artistic type, you can make your own pixel art. Now, if we go down here to the bottom, like this bottom left, and we click on that, you can actually make your own stuff. So I haven't done that because I'm not that type of artistic, artsy type of guy, at least in this sense. But if we go down along the bottom again, at the bottom, we'll hit the 4 squares, and you can see that you can have different types of clocks. And this is where some of the interesting stuff comes in. That I'm interested in. You can end up having, like up here, you can have your YouTube, you could enter in your YouTube information. So in other words, you could put in the zone, 24-hour time or 12 hours, view count, subscriber comments. You can enter in the channel. So I entered in the very life, and then you have other rows of which you can enter in information as well. So yeah, the interesting thing is down here you have some comments, and it says doesn't connect to YouTube, no information displayed. I was one of those people that put this comment in here, and what Divoom ended up doing was working on this, and it now works. So yeah, it's definitely something that I like. It's not an immediate change in subscribers, but it subscribes after a certain amount of time, but it is still works out pretty good. So again, I just go ahead and put that as my favorite. The other thing you can end up having is, the weather. You can set the weather and display time, the zone, again, city, temperature, all of these things you can add, and it is pretty impressive. I've actually put the weather for Korea, and it works. Other things that you end up having are clocks, Bitcoin. You can end up doing U.S. stocks, which is pretty amazing. So you can end up, putting different types of stocks. So Apple, Tesla, whatever it is, you can change and enter in all kinds of different stock names, for up to 10 rows. So it's a pretty versatile type of app that you have. So with that said, let's go ahead and we'll show you some of the different options that we have with this and how it shows up on the Pixoo 64. Alrighty, let's take a look at the Divoom app and show you how this works in real time. You're going to have to register and start an account, and sometimes you have to log in, other times it'll automatically log you in. So something's going on there, but it works out pretty good. And again, we have all the different options here. So down on this one, I mainly use the clock version. So we have my YouTube branding for the Buried Life page, which I like. It shows the number of subscribers, the total number of views, which is nice. How often this updates, I'm not exactly sure, but it does take a little bit of time, just to give you that heads up. But I will say that the weather and the time and all of that stuff is really accurate, so that works well. A lot of different clocks that you have here. Everything works fine. The response time is generally good depending on your internet connection. And there we have the Bitcoin. That pops up there. If you're interested in the stock market, again, you can have 10 different stocks that you could list on here in real time, which is pretty impressive. Some of the other things that you end up having, if it's Christmas time, boom, there you go. Christmas is there. If you're into, a little bit of alien action, boom, you've got it. Yeah, just kind of amazing stuff that we end up having with this. You want a little bit of koi fish action? Yeah, you can do that as well. There it is, swimming around the pool. One thing that I had some problems with this app is this is not really user intuitive. And so if you go to your profile, you can go to your local gallery and you can favorite and save. And this is one of my favorites here, which is Mordor, which ends up pretty good. So when I'm painting and doing my miniatures and all of these cool dudes here, yeah, I have it on the Mordor. So yeah, pretty impressive. I like it. With that being said, is it worth $155? But wait, it's not $155 because you can get 20% off if you look at the website as you see here. It turns out it's pretty good. I think honestly, for that price and what I want it for like the YouTube branding and when I'm painting miniatures and just, weather and update information, even some of the art and nature, some of the moving pictures and stuff on there. For me, I think it's good. I would actually pay to buy this. And initially I wasn't because I thought, yeah, it's only going to have like 20 or 30 different things, but it's got thousands of different options and different things that you can display. You want your little kitty cat there, you got your kitty cat. If you want your little bomb dropping thing, more kitties, Bilbo Baggins. It's just kind of amazing on all of the things that you can find on this app, and it works out pretty good. So anyway, that's what we end up having with the Pixoo 64. that they sent me, and I appreciate that. I had a real good time with this. And again, I'm using it primarily for the YouTube branding and the weather clock, and it works out well. So now that we've gone over and we've just touched the tip of the iceberg with all of the things that you can display on your Pixoo 64, that would just take up way too much time, so I'm going to spare you the pain and the rambling. So let's just go and talk about the pros and cons of the Pixoo 64. Now we're going to talk about what I like about this product. For me specifically, I like the YouTube branding, so I'm going to have that there. I like the stock tickers, and I also like the weather updates and some of the pictures that I could have as I'm painting miniatures, like with Mordor in the background going off and the lightning. It's just kind of a cool thing. But with that being said, as you saw, there are literally thousands of different things that you can display on the Pixoo 64. And honestly, there's too many. And I've never said that about any product in my entire life. This thing has so many different things that you can display on here. It is almost overwhelming. So if you can't find something to display on your Pixoo 64, I don't know what to tell you. Now, if you're one of those creative people, you can also create your own pictures and movements and graphics and animes or nature, whatever it is, and you can make your own. And again, that's why there's thousands of different options on the Pixoo 64. So now we're going to get down to the final question. Steve, would you pay and spend your own money for the Pixoo 64? And after going through and seeing all that it has to offer, honestly, yeah, I find value in that, and I would pay for that. And if you want to pick up the Pixoo 64, what you can end up doing is looking at the website. There's a link in the description box. Now, here's a big disclaimer. I don't have an affiliate link. The link is what it is, and if you want it, there it is. If you don't want it, it doesn't matter to me. What I like is that it does what I want it to do, and I find value in it. And so I would end up, honestly, with what I know now, by doing this review, I would buy this with my own money. So anyway, that's where it's going to be. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. This is going to be a permanent fixture on the desk here, and as we do miniature painting and some other product reviews, you will see the Pixoo 64. And if you want to pick one up, there's a link in the description box. There's also a link that if you like this video or my channel and all the other videos that I do, you can buy me a coffee, and I would really appreciate that. People know I love my coffee. So with that being said, we're going to let you all go, and I'm going to continue and kind of put this up and get to painting some miniatures, and we will see you on the next video. Peace.